Near the iconic Holy Spirit Cathedral in the center of Accra stands the National Museum of Ghana. It's the hub of Ghana's cultural heritage and was built to provide a lens into the country's rich history and help Ghanaians understand what it meant to be Ghanaian during the pre-colonial era and now.
The idea of a museum is that it will be a place where the way of life of the people of the Gold Coast will be acquainted with their way of life as it has survived today from past times.
Professor James Ankwanda is a lecturer at the Department of Archaeology at the University of Ghana. The 79-year-old historian has been teaching archaeology and ethnography for more than 40 years here. He tells me the very first recognized museum in Ghana was set up in the 1940s by Thurston Shaw, an English geography master at Achimota College.
There was a big hall there that he was using in exhibiting collections of cultural materials from the whole of the Gold Coast. So he was traveling around the Gold Coast and collecting materials, and they called it the Museum of Anthropology at Achimota School, Achimota College. Okay. And there they collected things like beads, bauxite beads they were making at Achim Abumpe. Okay. They are still making bauxite beads there using local bauxite. When we attained independence, for the Gold Coast Ministry of Education to set up a national museum, they split the cultural materials that had come from Achimota College, set up by Thurston Shaw. They split it into two parts. 50% of the cultural materials put together at Achimota School Museum of Anthropology. 50% was brought to Legon, where a museum has been set up by the University College of the Gold Coast. Okay, and then 50% was taken to Accra, Adabraka, to constitute the museum of the National Museum of Gold Coast, Ghana.
And March 8th this year, that is just tomorrow, is going to be International Women's Day. And for us on the show, we decided to dedicate the whole week, each day of the week, to talking about women, their impacts in society, and how they make our world and our society tick.
And this year, there's a call on all of us to forge a better working world, a more inclusive, gender equal world. So this week beginning today, we're sharing with you some of the stories showing challenges and opportunities of being a woman in Ghana. We call it the Women on the Move series. And the man behind this series, Justice Baidu, one of our favorites, is here this morning.
How are you? I hope that the Women on the Move series is going to include women in the media, like Mama V,
hopefully,
and Araba, and the rest. You should.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot more important stories to tell.
No,
there
but
are people doing more incredible things. I think
like journalists, you know.
people
For example, they cover
like,
other people's
like,
stories being sacked, etc. But they don't cover theirs when they are being sacked.
I have my personal inspiration from Mama V, which I will share some
other
day.
Wow.
Oh, not today.
Oh, wow.
Please.
Yeah. Oh, did I tell you that the poultry farm has been expanded? There's now a fish aspect to it.
You have a fish pond now? Or
yes.
An aqua kind of?
Okay. Jellyfish. Is it jellyfish they call it?
Catfish.
Ah, okay.
Great. Okay, so what's the latest?
So tomorrow, March 8th, which is what is celebrated every year as International Women's Day, this year the focus all over the world is to promote parity, especially at workplaces, so that we are promoting the agenda that what men can do, women can also do. We've been saying
Better.
this even better. So this week, starting from today, I'll be sharing stories of some of the women I've met on assignment who I think are doing amazing things, whose story the world should know. Hopefully, it gets to motivate young people, especially women, to think, to get motivated, and then boost themselves in terms of their workplaces, their ambitions, and their goals in life. So that's what we've put together in the Women on the Move series. And it's going to be on radio, on My Joy Online, and also on Joy News TV, starting from the AM show every day.
Yeah. That's great.
Friday.
Yeah. Is there a particular reason you decided to go up north?
Not just the north. We've got stories from the Ashanti region. We've got stories from the Bonga-Afro region. We have stories from the Upper East region, and then we have stories from the northern region, Tamale.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's pretty much a national sort of series. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Just quickly, just sum up, you know, some of the things, the areas that
Yeah.
you're touching on with these women that you featured.
Yeah, so it's women from diverse backgrounds. In Bolgatanga, I met this doctor who is working in a newborn care unit. She's the only doctor working in that whole unit, and she had to come back from Russia to help young people, children who otherwise would have died, to survive, and is working in this newborn care unit in the Bolgatanga Regional Hospital. So we followed her and we tell her story as part of this series. In the northern regional capital, Tamale, I met this woman who is basically set up a place weaving fugu, the northern the attire, and getting girls who had come to Kumasi and Accra to do kayae to come back to Tamale and then learn this trade, and then she sets them up once they are done. These are girls who otherwise would still have come here, lived in deplorable conditions, or otherwise when they lived in Tamale would have been tempted to get into marriage because they haven't got any form of support. And what we are going to show today is the story of the woman in the Ashanti region who is using bamboo to make bicycles.
Okay.
And
so this is the Ashanti region?
Yes. So this is coming from Kumasi of Bernice Dapa, who is building the Ghana bamboo bike, which has gone as far as the United Nations and driven by former Secretary General Ban Ki-moon.
All right. So here we go with the documentary.
My name is Bernice Dapa, the Executive Director of Ghana Bamboo Bikes Initiative. This is where we use bamboo to manufacture bicycles. So attractive. Sometimes when I say we use bamboo to manufacture bicycles, people think I'm crazy. You can see our gentleman is also working on the production of the frame. They are cutting it, make it in a different shape, very, very nice and attractive. That's what our scientists is also doing. This is the multi-purpose machine we use for the cutting of most of our basic materials like this, the steel tube. You can see our lady doing the marvelous work here, doing the cutting and everything, which is so attractive. So this machine does a lot of work for us. This is where most of the filing is being done. This is the raw process that they are doing. This is very, very hard work, but the guys are so committed and they are doing the work for us as economic empowerment for them. And as you can see, most of the lady and the guy too is doing the finishing process. We're hoping to broaden our scope to different communities, which we can retain them and also create them as alternative livelihood for them.
My name is Alibatu Saadia, a product of Ghana Bamboo Bikes. I'm really happy to join this initiative because I was a school dropout. It has helped a lot of less privileged people. People walk miles from their house to school. And this initiative is really helping them because we are able to donate a lot of bicycles to them to and to make things easier for them.
Why are you using bamboo? Because we have a lot of bamboos in our country that is going underutilized. So we want to see how best we can change the face of using bamboo by cultivating, going into production, and even diversifying our production for both local and international platforms. The single bamboo plant that we harvest for production, we plant not more than 10 bamboo species, which also help us to mitigate climate change issues. Because as you know, bamboo contains a lot of oxygen that balances the carbon dioxide. The 1 hectare bamboo plantation that we plant not at least 250 bamboo species.
This used to be a dream for all the boys in Korea when I was young, because we couldn't afford even a bicycle. Now this is a good way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
And the good thing is, so these are made in Ghana. They're made out of bamboo. They're made by women. They're fantastic, and the women are teaching other women to make these bamboo bikes out of and to make them and then sell them, so that they have another income for themselves.
I say enka na first ko bi twa mpampuro a na bi orikoye TV pole ana se bia orikosi abrosan a yedi sisi ase a ikukwan ketukusu but say hu say mfasho abam ama etimi de bicycle a mfasho abam say etimi de phone body no ma bebre a mpampuro ere say bambu omutimi ediye nti hu say mfasho abam ama say yena nanka enya adwuma yezo aboa yen ama say yenya juma yeye na nim se dudu a ye wo ha nyina no ebe duru ba bi no numbers no kura ebe den ebe increase ya chen dudu a ye den ye wo ha no
ese ba na ye ni ejule bi aye ise no na aboa ise be kakra no omu twanu yagu ti enya nnu a ye be bodanso etumi di bodanso omu tumi di lazy chair omu di table no niam bebre.
I want to become a medical doctor.
I want to become a teacher. Become a doctor.
It helped me to come to school early. And also, if my father sends me, I can go and come back earlier.
A boy said first, me school, me late teacher. They said they me bante. Me papa's mama me team the cook.
Next on the Women on the Move series tomorrow, I'm in the Brong-Ahafo regional town of Bechem to meet the young Ghanaian women braving the odds to study welding and fabrication in a class dominated by men.
A lady welding. Yeah, a lady is a welder, and I've seen a lot. That one day is not good for you to be a lady and welding. Go and change it and do something like nurse. They always talk about nurse, teaching, and it's not bad, it's good. But I don't like that one.
This is one of the documentaries you watch and you never want it to end. Frank Boja is Programs Manager in charge of governance at WorldUp. He's joined us for our conversation beginning today on International Women's Day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
Why do we have a man working with WorldUp?
It's very important because if we focus only on women doing their own things, we'll not get to where we want to be. We need to, as a two species of the world, men and women,
complement each other.
Complement each other. And I want to say that many places that men have also established, we see a lot of women there. And so we need to balance it, complement each other.
You're really a program manager. This is proper PR.
And WorldUp is women in law and
development in Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think about this piece that we've just shown?
I think it is very fantastic. It is something that trying to solve just one problem with a lot of local materials, local knowledge, local technology. In the sense that, as we know, the current government is promoting made in Ghana goods. It has been there for a long time, but I think they are emphasizing more on that. And this is some of the things that we could do to help our nation. We have our raw materials here, the bamboo, we have our wood. How do we turn this into something productive for the country, other than importing everything from outside? This is no different from what Dr. Osafo Kantanka is doing. It is in the same manner where he uses the palm nut, the kernel, to do a lot of things, the machines that he produces and all of that. So we are just trying to utilize our raw materials within the country. Some other people will use the wood to do earrings and all that. Personally, I can use bamboo to do earrings and necklaces.
Yourself?
Yes. I was trained by my senior brother, who was electrical engineering, but learned to do this and taught all of us.
Okay.
And all his life, whatever he has gained out of his employment is through this particular art, other than even the engineering that he studied. And so I think that handicraft and skills development should be the way forward if we really want to develop, not to depend too much on the strictly academic knowledge, but the practicality of getting ourselves out of poverty and trying to develop ourselves. I think this is what the lady is trying to do for us in Ghana here, and we should commend her for doing that.
I'm just amazed by the impact.
Yes.
Just by her training, even training others to do this. It's impacting on a lot of lives from the guy who cuts the bamboo in the forest and from the guy who works on the bamboo, you know, from the little kids who are even riding it to school.
And it's a motivation. I learned that in the northern part of the country, giving bicycles to young people is just a motivation for them to go to school. So we have the market already. We don't need to go outside to sell it. We have the market within. And so we should look, first of all, at the local market. When we are sufficient, then we can send it outside. Other than that, we should also produce in large quantity to sell it to the outside world, get a foreign exchange, and then complement our effort within. I think that will help all of us. A fantastic thing that she's doing.
Yeah. But you work with a lot of women. You deal with a lot of women issues. What do you think? There's a theme, an international theme for the celebration, but I always want to come back home because there are certain things peculiar to us as Ghanaians. What do you think the issues are regards women that we're supposed to be talking about it, even as we count down to International Women's Day?
Thank you very much. One, there are a lot of issues. There are issues about social issues. There are a lot of economic issues, and I think they are focusing more on economic issues now. I wouldn't want to go too much to discuss the others, but let's focus even on the economics issue or the business issue. Economic empowerment for women is very, very important, because the woman who depends solely on the husband for everything is very vulnerable, and it can lead to all the social issues. Very vulnerable. One cannot even take decision on her own, cannot take care of herself if the man is not available, or is also if the man is even disadvantaged in terms of unemployment. And so the woman should always be empowered economically to be able to have the skills, to have a trade, and then even to be employed. I think that is what we have to do for our women. We should always empower them economically and then financially. But as far as they are doing something, any economic activity, they'll be able to take care of themselves and then take care of any other children they bring forth, so that they don't depend solely on a particular person who oftentimes will fail them. And that is what we have to do as a country. We should focus on getting the woman to be employed, self-employed or self-made. That is fantastic for all of us. The other side is that we should not lose sight of the reproductive aspect of a woman. As far as we are empowering them economically, we should also be able to guide them to plan the family. Believe it or not, as far as they have more children, the dependency becomes even greater. And so if they are able to plan very well, to take care of the family planning issues, so that they don't give birth too many, or even if they want to do at distances that they'll be able to take proper care of one and then the other and then the other. If we don't do that, then we may be putting them into more vulnerable positions than probably what we thought. So the economic and then the social aspect must balance in a way. For us also, we should look at, even if you are going to give any support to a woman or a young lady, what will be the support? Do we just, like what the government will do, we give loans to women without teaching them as to how to utilize the loan? And so they get the loan, they get home, somebody is sick, and 2-3 days the money is finished. So they will not even apply the money gotten to the business that they want to do. So we have to go extra mile from just giving the financial support to giving them training as to how to manage the business. And in managing the business too, it means that we should also be able to give them education on how to even utilize the resources that they get out of that business, savings and all that. And then, you know, the financial market is good, but there are also a lot of risk involved. How will you save 1 cedi, 2 cedi, 3 cedi, so that by the end of the year you are getting something for the future, other than utilizing all the income at a point in time? Then you are vulnerable in the future. Ghana has a good social security system, but our women in the market, and especially those who are not in the formal sector, are not utilizing it. If we can get them to be enrolled onto the SNIT and then get something for them when they are old and they cannot work, it will help all of us too.
Well, thank you very much. And we hope that we can have you in the studio again before the week closes, because this week we're focusing on women, just as part of our own efforts to make sure we complement the International Women's Day activities for tomorrow.
I'm available.
All right, Mr. Frank Wujak, thank you very much. He's a programs manager in charge of governance with World of Women in Law and Development in Africa. Tomorrow, watch out for an interesting program right here on our show. Of course, we'll bring you another documentary produced by Justice Beidou from one of the regions. We're telling the stories of women and the impacts that the little things they're making is also, the impact is making generally in the nation. But we'll bring you something special, a very special conversation, even as we observe International Women's Day tomorrow, Wednesday.
And so that'll be it for programming for the AM show this morning, but we have other programs on the show as well, and we thank you so much for your interactivity on our Facebook page, on News on TV, our Twitter handle as well, and we know that we can get a lot more of these videos when we upload them on our channel, Major Online TV, on YouTube. Well, that'll be it for the morning. My name is Roland Walker. And
I am Mama Vio Swabwaje. Apologies we couldn't touch on the Mawako incidents, but there are still a lot more updates. We promise you we will give you more details. And stay on for News Desk at 10 a.m. It's the place where we update you on all the major running stories making news. Today, we will see you again, God willing, tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Bye-bye.